Attention, attention on the grid. Drivers to your cars.
The roaring of the crowd, soon to be joined by the roaring of the engines. The drivers there preparing to get into their race cars. They're hugging their loved ones, talking to their teams for any final notes. And you at home can watch along with 12 of your favorite drivers through the Watch ESPN app. In addition to our ABC telecast, fans can also enjoy in-car coverage live on ESPN3. That's available through Watch ESPN. You can experience high-definition views from the front, rear, sides of the car, plus go inside the cockpit. You can access Watch ESPN by downloading that Watch ESPN app by visiting WatchESPN.com. And so the stage, racing's greatest stage, is set with question marks. Can Tony Kanaan make it back-to-back wins? Will this be win number 4 for Helio Castroneves? Can Juan Pablo Montoya win once again in his second attempt? How about Kurt Busch? Can he make it a memorable transition from NASCAR to IndyCar? Or will it be Hoosier Ed Carpenter bringing it home for Indiana? As of right now, all that matters to these drivers is speed over a course where time stands still.
The 1971 Indianapolis 1946 Indianapolis 500-mile Classic. Good afternoon. I'm Jim McKay speaking to you from one of the most exciting spots at one of the most exciting moments in all the wide world of sports. Behind me, the cars are being wheeled onto the track.
Imagine a place that transcends time, where the thrill of victory brings our heroes together.
You think it can be beaten?
Well, I don't think you're ever going to beat the track, but you got to show respect.
Where racing legacies last forever.
We see another 4-time winner. It's a bit of a dream, to be honest. You know, I came here once, I won the race, it was really exciting. Second time around, the chances of winning are pretty good.
A place where the bounty is worth the blood.
It was definitely the biggest achievement of my career. As a little kid, I always wish I could make it.
You made it, and you made it big. Congratulations, and continued good luck to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engine.
This is it.
The story remains the same. Man and machine bending time.
Obviously, we've seen a lot of great racing in Indianapolis, but this is something special right now.
Pushing the limits.
Got it.
To the razor's edge.
One of the great races of recent time.
At a track.
Unbelievable.
Where the limits push back.
And a crash and turn 4. The incredible boom, maybe ever in Indianapolis. Big crash down the back straight away. Oh, we've got a crash. Oh, wicked crash.
A singular desire passed down through generations.
I've never seen anything like it in the Indianapolis race. Who's gonna win?
And here's the checkered flag.
That's immortality.
He's done it. What a finish. And you should see the celebration.
The Indianapolis 500.
If you got to win one race, this is the place you got to win.
Absolutely incredible.
Win today. Live forever.
I think there is something magical about this place.
Memorial Day in Indianapolis. And 33 brave men ready to try to win it all.
Time now for another Indy 500 tradition. We send it back to Dave Calabro for the introduction of the one and only Jim Neighbors.
Race fans, please turn your attention to the video boards and the victory podium. Since first appearing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1972, this gentleman has become a cherished icon on race day. He has treasured every moment being with you race fans here at the track and with those millions watching around the world. The words of this special song always strike a chord with all of us, and it never sounded sweeter when sung by this Hoosier at heart. For the 36th and final time, performing back home again in Indiana, please welcome and sing along with the one, the only, our good friend, Mr. Jim Neighbors. Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still burning bright through the sycamores. For me, the new mown hay sends out its fragrance through the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, how I long for my Indiana home. Let's give it up, race fans, for one last time. Thank you, Jim, for coming back home one last time. We love you, we'll miss you, and we'll never forget you as the balloons fly over the world-famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a tradition that dates back to 1947. Ladies and gentlemen, for the most famous words in all of motorsports, please welcome Mary Holman George and Jim Neighbors.
Gentlemen, start your engines. Yeah.
Is about to embark on the most challenging day of his racing career. 1,100 miles is the goal, and right now he is about to begin his very first Indianapolis 500. Before he put on the helmet and climbed in the car, I spoke to him. I said, "How are your nerves?" He smiled and said, "I'm feeling it, but I feel good. I've never felt more prepared." Jamie?
Well, Kurt Busch is one of 7 rookies in today's field, but I'm joined by a man who's no stranger to Indianapolis. Roger Penske, you've been coming here since 1969. What is this moment like?
Well, I guess I came here in 1951 with my dad as a young kid, and I can see all these young people here today. It's a special time in my life, and this race is going to be unbelievable. I wish the best to Kurt when he's trying to do the double, and we got 3 great cars today, and we want a safe race.
All those years of being a team owner here, 15 wins. He's hoping today is number 16. Lindsay?
Thank you, Jamie. The engines are roaring, the crowd is cheering, and our crew in the booth is standing by to call this race. We send it now to Eddie Cheever, Scott Goodyear, and the newest member of our team, Alan Bestwick. Alan?
Lindsay, thanks. Can't tell you how exciting it is to be here for the Indianapolis 500. And as we've gone through the month of May and talked to the drivers, they talk about their cars, they talk about the strategies, but they talk about the emotions of this 500-mile journey. What is today like for the drivers?
Today is the most difficult day of the year for them. From the moment they woke up this morning, they've been trying to empty their head of everything that they do not need. They're going to have to focus on the most difficult start you will have anywhere in racing.
And you know something, the thing that I always thought about here is coming here into turn one was always a time of tension for drivers, simply from the fact you're rushing down to turn one with 32 of your closest friends at over 200 miles an hour. So it's definitely a hard time for drivers. But the one thing that is for sure is that you come here as a driver, and if you win, you'll leave as a legend.
Looking at the 19-year-old rookie Sage Karam, a little slow getting away from the grid, but he is underway and rejoining the field for his first Indianapolis 500-mile race. The starting lineup again reviewed across the top of the screen, and at the head of the field, Mario Andretti, the 1965 winner in the Honda Andretti TV 2-seater. Enter for your chance to win a ride with Mario in that car at shophonda.com. That's Gracie Gold, national figure skating champion and Olympic medalist, with Mario Andretti here at Indianapolis today. And let's stay on the Andretti theme with Dr. Jerry Punch.
You know, Mario Andretti is the only member of his famous family ever to win the Indianapolis 500, and that was way back in 1969. Son Michael came close on several occasions. Grandson Marco came really close as a rookie in 2006. Now, I spoke with Marco just moments before climbing in the car, and if courage and confidence make a difference, this just might be the day the Andretti curse finally ends at Indy. Here's Rick DeBroil.
Well, few events have the diversity that the Indy 500 has. For example, you've got Jacques Villeneuve out there, 43 years old. He won the Indy 500 back in 1995. 2 years later, the Canadian went on to win the Formula One World Championship. But pitted right next to him is the youngest driver in the race, 19-year-old Sage Karam. The kid from Pennsylvania was just 2 months old when Villeneuve won that Indy 500. Those two drivers today will bridge the generations, connecting Indy's past with its future. Alan?
Drivers running 70 miles an hour on this first parade lap behind the Chevrolet Camaro Z28, the 2014 Indianapolis 500 pace car. Like to learn more about it? Chevy.com/Camaro is where you can find out. Dario Franchitti, heard from him a little while ago, the three-time winner, has received the honor of driving the pace car here today. He has threatened not to turn off and to race him down into turn one. We'll see. Some great high-definition onboard views for you today among the field of 33. Jacques Villeneuve, the 1995 winner, has our Lucas Oil camera, and the 2000 winner, Juan Pablo Montoya, is carrying our Verizon on board. Tony Kanaan carrying our Chevy on board. He was last year's champion, starting 16th.
And Tony Kanaan's teammate Ryan Briscoe, a previous pole sitter here at the Indianapolis 500, will roll off 30th position today in his NTT Data Ganassi Chevrolet. His teammate Charlie Kimball is also carrying a camera today, and that will be for the Novo Nordisk special. And then we also have Graham Rahal, son of 1986 Indy 500 winner Bobby Rahal. He'll have a National Guard camera on his Honda-powered machine. Graham starts in his 7th 500.
Most accomplished American driver in the field, Ryan Hunter-Reay, will have the AutoNation onboard camera. Marco's Honda onboard camera. Better get ready for an exciting ride. There's never a moment or a boring moment with him. And Simon Pagenaud with the Firestone on board will be trying to replicate his Indy GP fresh win.
Elio Castroneves trying to win a fourth 500 from the fourth starting position, has our Pennzoil on board. The current series championship leader Will Power driving for Penske has our Verizon on board from the outside of the front row. And the Sunoco on board being carried by the pole sitter Ed Carpenter. He will lead this field to the green flag momentarily, hoping to be the 21st driver to win this race from the #1 starting spot. Looking for Spanish commentary today? You can find it by activating your SAP button, presented from here in Indianapolis by ESPN Deportes. So many intriguing stories in this field of 33, but one row on the grid particularly worth watching is row number 4.
Well, the interesting thing about that is 2 IndyCar drivers and a NASCAR driver. I'm sure those guys have gone over to Kurt Busch and said, hey, let's get through turn 1 here and just get through a lap before we settle into a pace. So Kurt Busch probably had some great advice from the other 2 Indy 500 champions.
So the Speedway, 2.5 miles around for each lap. So to make up the 500-mile distance, they'll run 200 circuits today with that pit window. The crews will have to service the car a minimum of 6 times during the day. And maybe the most important line is the bottom one. There's always an early crash or early trouble here. You don't want your 500-mile victory dreams ended after 5.
That is absolutely true. And the first hurdle that they have to get through is that first corner. And it is always a difficult corner because these cars are designed to work at 220 miles an hour. And Scott, we both know you're not even going 180 by the time you get to there. And everybody's always